topics, different contexts. So my first work is called My First French Kiss.
That's interesting.
On the rocks, by the sea, alone, you and me, tucked in each other, hugging one another. Love immense, love intense, love so dense. Face to face we trace, so clear, the delicate outline of each other's ear. And from ear to cheek we go on to seek, and then to nose, whereby we pose for each other's pleasure, each of us, each other's treasure. I look in your eyes, you look in mine. Oh, how I wish I could stop the time. We look, they talk. They talk, we look. Okay, I will let you figure this one out. Environment. Dragons like to fire. Crocodiles like to bite. Fishes issue kisses, but not to show their might. Georgie fights the first, Tarzan the second, and the fisherman the third. And if you come to Malta, you will not see a bird. It seems to be that legendary and also reality are not so far apart. Why is it that man should have a stone instead of a heart? I will now switch to something I need to explain a context for. So the context of my next poem is this. Few couple of facts. My mom had cancer 5 years ago. The person who I mentioned, Rick, his mom had cancer a couple years ago as well. I am part of the most important musical event in Valletta 18 during this year. It's called Mewja Musica. If you're not participating, you should, because it is for you and not for me, the professional musician. It's for people who aren't professional musicians as much as it is for others. And for Mewja Musica, we did a pop-up couple of events along Republic Street, ending up in the St. George's Square. After that, I met this guy, Rick, who is a photographer, and who was putting up an exhibition of his photography in order to raise funds for the Oncology Center, the new department for cancer treatment. So that's the context of all this. Also, it was a few weeks ago, it was Father's Day. So what I did was I went to the photographic exhibition, chose one of the photos and bought it. So I got my Father's Day present. At the same time, that purchase was a contribution towards the Oncology Center in this exhibition called Art for World II, which is this new work. And this is the poem that I wrote on the card for Father's Day to my dad. And it explains the whole process. So this is the poem itself. It goes like this. Pops, today these words must come before the deeds. Though I planned out, there were some needs of time constraints not mine. Yet coincidence is divine. 'Cause if things all go as well as planned, we'll soon receive a delivery by hand, sometime in the afternoon. Our door might go boom boom. A little thingy it might be, but meaningful to thee, that's you, and also to she, that's mom. 'Cause in the essence of the act was quite some smartness, quite some tact. In action one there becomes another, and on Father's Day, to honor mother. In support of things behead by she, that's the cancer, by little humble tiny me. All of this will be explained upon delivery obtained, by me or by the man himself, who made the item, I will explain the item soon, that served the double purpose. And let's all enjoy this little circus. that a visit to a mill, the exhibition was in the mill of Birkirkara, begot such plot, all this planning, added to a till contribution to Oncology Centre. A single act that honoured art did so enchant by way of granting some more money to a cause good in need of any fine support that it can get. Thank Rick, who told me, and we met. Following a wave of music's pop-up Street 24 V18, we got all this to mean and mean. So double meaning for the gift, the contribution. And by the way, just for your information, the gift was a picture of a horse coming out of the shadow. So half of it is in shadow and half of it is in light. And with the lighting of the whole context, the photographer managed to get the right moment, and he called it Caravaggio Rides Again, because Caravaggio is about chiaro and scuro, light and dark. So that's the actual gift itself. So it's a gift, at the same time it's a contribution to Oncology Centre, and I got sparked a lot of hope. Thank you. Speaking of contexts, I have to give you the context of this poem here. So imagine you are in a leadership skills seminar and you don't know anybody else. And the leaders, the facilitators, want you to really get cracking and learn each other's names and stuff. So they gave us a couple of games. One of them was get into groups, get to know the names of each other, create a fantasy story, and when we come back to the whole group, you're going to read it group by group. Each time in each story, you have to mention each single person in the group by name, and when it happens, you have to actually stand up. So the moment you say, Norman, whoop, you stand up, so there is the person's like standing up, you can associate the name with the face. The rules in the writing of the stories were minimum of 2 mentions per name. So people have to stand up at least twice, okay? And our group wrote something that is really off the charts. So open your imaginations completely wide, no restrictions, no limitations. Imagine that every time I mention a person's name, that person will be standing up, yes? In fact, I have to call it schizophrenic hallucination. Last night, Petrina was floating on a fluffy, comfortable cloud. She bumped into another cloud and it began to rain. So Petrina toppled over her cloud, got trapped into an enormous raindrop and fell to the ground into a puddle. Tanya emerged out of the puddle. She ran straight into a microwave oven and got baked into Claudette. Jokingly, Andrew got Claudette and smashed her into Norman's face. Norman was so dizzy that he spun so fast that he became a helicopter. It rose high in the sky, but ran out of fuel. Resorting to more natural means, Norman became a sparrow, which got eaten by its own prey, a worm called Andrew. Andrew entered Katrina the apple, who found herself splashed by water Tanya. And since I want to be serious, I will end with a true story. One fine morning late at night, 2 dead men woke up to fight. Face to face they fought each other, with the swords they shot each other. If you don't believe this lie is true, go and ask the blind man, he saw it too. Thank you very much.
That's great, thank you, Norman.